Wayne called me up and was like, I have to kill you. And my response was, I'm in.
But if there's nothing else that we learned from Project 8, one of the first, if not the first videos that we worked on, it was that if you just have a vision for something, it's gonna hurt not to have a budget and not to have resources and places and people, but you can do it if you really care enough about it. I mean, I had borrowed a black light from my mother-in-law, and just simply having a little bit of lighting change makes a huge difference. Huge difference. And that was the premise of this entire thing.
Video shoot was crazy. Honestly, it was probably the most interesting one because we were still figuring so much stuff out. And when you have such limited space to create atmosphere, you gotta do some really interesting things and change it up. And the middle part of this video was completely Wayne's idea, and I think it ended up being something really interesting and cool.
That was supposed to be Three's mask, and it started to look like a mask you'd see at a Kiss concert or something, so that didn't work. And then I had this yellow one, and once I started painting it up, and man, it was really fun. I like the way it looks. It looks like it's old. And this is all Sharpie and highlighter, so anything that glows in the dark was done with a highlighter. So with that very early stage, our budget was maybe $2, $3. Then I went and got some gloves that were $1, just regular latex gloves, and I colored them in highlighter so they would glow. Easier thing would have been just to go get some fluorescent gloves, but like I say, we were on a budget, and we didn't know what we were doing.
When you have limited options for stuff, it's just about finding things that are around you. There's a part in it, you'll notice I have this orange thing wrapped around me. I think it was a leash. I'm not, it may have been one of those things you tie down like furniture with, but I remember being like, hey, let's wrap this around me. And Wayne was like, what? Why? That doesn't, but it pops out, and it's just one extra bit of color for you to look at. And it's those little things in the moment that can really change a video from being like, oh wow, this is really cheaply put together, to this is super creative.
We had to be real creative. I mean, the mouth scene, you know, the little mouthpieces that were changing in the scene where Brandon is supposedly singing. We just didn't have any shots. We didn't have anything to do. I mean, he's got markings all over his arms. That was highlighter. It was just insane what we had to do. And then when we're sitting there dancing around, I mean, last minute come up with an idea just to make it a little more interesting. I took a styrofoam cup. Once again, Sharpie came to the rescue. Colored the inside of the cup with black Sharpie, and if you look, you can see the torn edges around it. You know, it's a circle, and we're inside there dancing. And same thing for Brandon's mask. I mean, we didn't have a plan for that, and there she is. It's just black Sharpie with some highlighter on it and spots so that it would reflect the black light. It's just crazy. The dead body in the trunk, Brandon wasn't available to be present at that moment. So I had to like take a bunch of pillows and stuff from my house and try to make the shape of a body. And then there you go again. I'm out in the middle of the night, opening the back hatch of my truck. I've got what looks like a dead body, a machete, a noose, tape, a shovel, gloves. Like,
I've never died before. There's a lot more dancing than I thought there would be. But, you know, I mean, the club vibes were pretty cool.
I didn't have a good location to record most of this stuff. So there's a lot of shots that are recorded in the bathroom. And I didn't want to shoot a music video in the bathroom. Of course not. But you work with what you have. And it was the only space that I truly had in the house where it would light up with the black light really well. And I could isolate myself to a certain canvas and make it my own. But there were a lot of really cool things that we did with nothing. You know, I had to go do the digging scene I live in an apartment, so I had to go do the digging scene at the back of a church. Um, and we were like freaking out, you know, it's late at night. We were freaking out, wondering if anybody was going to spot us and think we're like burying a dead body.
I absent from my own burial? Yes. Being dead, it's a lot busier than you think it would be. There's dead parties to go to, new dead relationships to form. You get like a dead job. It's just like a whole thing to it. I couldn't make it. I couldn't be there.
But altogether, it turned out really great. I'm really proud of it. It has atmosphere, which is the most important thing. And I'm just really proud of what we pulled off.